You are listening to Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast, where friends read poems to each other just to see what happens. My name is Tom, and with me always is my good buddy Paul. And we are here again today to read some poems, are we not?
That's why we're here, yeah.
I mean, we block out this time, and it's sacred. It's poetry time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bring the bards.
Oh my God, 4 episodes. For me, that's a podcast record as a podcast creator. The magic number 4. I've never made it this far. I'm so excited, and I don't want to. I don't want to jinx anything, but we're up to 15 downloads, my friend.
15.
That's 2 digits.
Wow. And we're two white guys making a podcast, and
Yeah.
we have yet to say anything, in my opinion, that will hurt our future political aspirations.
Well, I'm not wearing pants right now. But what? Shouldn't have said it. See, we were doing so well, weren't we?
Well, there is still the editing.
As I watched the numbers rise today, I just got dollar signs in my eyes, and wouldn't you know it, the sponsorships, once the audience comes, the sponsorships come right after.
They do.
And I'm proud to say I brought a sponsor today, if that's all right. I was approached by this online store. They're going to give us an offer code, a discount code, and I went and I looked at everything, just amazing stuff that I just couldn't believe could be mine. And the name of the store is notforyou.com, a collection where you can go and buy things that are it's amazing how they do it. They have an algorithm that they create the store. It's a personalized store that's just for you based on, your digital life. So it only shows you products that are just out of reach. Notforyou.com, our second sponsor. It's an exciting day.
That is exciting. Man, I'm having biscuits tonight.
I'm having too. Who is your guest poet for the day?
All right, my guest poet is actually Colorado's poet laureate.
Awesome.
Their name is Andrea Gibson. Instead of depression, try calling it hibernation. Imagine the darkness is a cave in which you will be nurtured by doing absolutely nothing. Hibernating animals don't even dream. It's okay if you can't imagine spring. Sleep through the alarm of the world. Name your hopelessness a quiet hollow, a place you go to heal, a den you dug, sweetheart, instead of a grave.
Oh my God. Thank you. That is so great. Were you familiar? To say that, who's the poet again, please?
Andrea Gibson.
Were you familiar with Andrea Gibson's work? How did you find the poem?
I had heard that Colorado has a poet laureate. We had stopped for a long time.
Is that right?
Then started it back up.
Do you know the story behind that at all?
I don't. I just started looking at their poems and was like, whoa, this is very Emily Dickinson to me.
Yeah, I've been talking with friends lately about reframing depression, reframing memories, reframing our experiences that nag at us as just data points, as opposed to placing a value on it, positive, negative. And that poem reminded me of that. which has been very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That a day that from the outside looking in might look depressed could just be necessary hibernation.
Absolutely. And Margaret Atwood actually, in one of her books, The Year of the Flood, they there's a commune in there that um, some of some of the people aren't doing any work, and they just call it that they're lying fallow.
Today I wrote a poem to the Xfinity chatbot to express my rage, but that's not the poem I'll be reading.
Is Are you gonna read that?
Well, I guess I have to now. It's a two poem day for me.
Poem for the chatbot.
Uh, this isn't a poem. I just I went through like two AI chatbots
Mm-hmm.
and then I finally got a person and I said, "Can you offer anything beyond tightening cables and restarting the modem? Can you explain why my service drops every day? Be honest. Tell me why your product is so bad. Please be human."
Mm.
And they said, "Sure, I will check that for you." I'm not sure
A
which,
win for AI there.
yeah, I'm not sure which part. Okay. Um, my poem, and once again, I got my poem at the East Atlanta branch of the Fulton County Public Library. And I love what I found. This is a collection by a poet named Billy Collins, and I've been reading it all day. The collection is called Nine Horses,
Mm.
and this is a poem called The Country. I wondered about you when you told me never to leave a box of wooden strike anywhere matches lying around the house because the mice might get into them and start a fire. But your face was absolutely straight when you twisted the lid down on the round tin where the matches, you said, are always stowed. Who could sleep that night? Who could whisk away the thought of one unlikely mouse padding along a cold water pipe behind the floral wallpaper, gripping a single wooden match between the needles of his teeth? Who could not see him rounding a corner, the blue tip scratching against a rough-hewn beam, the sudden flare, and the creature for one bright shining moment suddenly thrust ahead of his time, now a fire starter, now a torchbearer in a forgotten ritual, little brown druid illuminating some ancient night. Who could fail to notice, lit up in the blazing insulation, the tiny looks of wonderment on the faces of his fellow mice, one time inhabitants of what once was your house in the country?
Amazing. What a twisted little Stuart Little.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Twisted Stuart Little.
Twisted little Stuart Little, a little pyro Stuart Little.
Mhm.
No one's wearing masks. And if you want more biscuits, you only need to ask. And there'll be no time for TV. No such thing as
Sounds that don't get recorded.
screens will keep the bugs away.
A large breath before a long phrase.
You can ride
One of three taut wires out of phase. The warm-up that's better than the take. We hear the notes that aren't played. The mic's not set up, and neither is the tape. Things will get fixed in post anyway, but not these and not today. The sounds that don't get recorded. Footfalls on the tile floor, sliding weather seal of the door. All after the toothpaste lid dropped. The tongue glides between the upper teeth and the lip. The shampoo got shaken out, lathered, rinsed, and dried. Polish brushed on the nails. Sounds that don't get recorded. Laying flat outside on the ground, the plane's lights far above. Caterpillar's jaws tearing a leaf, pulling the knife out of its sheath. A fish bolts and disturbs the water's flow. It's the aftermath of a collision of two planets long ago. Closing of the eyelids, the slowing of the blood, the stilling of the breath. A wish for good omens, or strange, even sordid. All the sounds that don't get recorded.
Awesome. Beautiful. All righty. Well, my turn then.
It's your turn, yeah.
This is a poem that I wrote just the other night, and it is called Night Chips. For the sake of this poem, let's say you did get the chips, or the crisps, as they say over there. Let's say for the sake of this poem, you got up from the couch and put on shorts and shoes, walked to the Chevron. What's better for the poem? With or without the phone? Can you face the 15 minutes of no media? Nothing coming in except bug sounds and street lights and cars driven by people going to buy their chips? Can you face the silent summation of calories and nickels and dimes in existence time, and they're just chips as you debate how far is too far to turn back? Or is there music in earbuds to fight the silence, to compete with tired in the name of hungry, a montage of no fucks to give for the rules of this story? Sleep is what you need. You know it. But chips. For poem's sake, let's say chips wait. I compromised and got popcorn. Spoiler alert, he got the chips.
Yeah, not the sleep.
No, yeah, I mean, eventually. You've been listening to Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast where friends read poems to each other. Today we heard poetry by Colorado's poet laureate Andrea Gibson, as well as Billy Collins, and original work by your hosts Tom and Paul. If you enjoy the show, give it a like and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, as new episodes will continue to drop. Thanks for listening. Go write a poem.
That's okay as well. You can sit there all day long and ring the dinner bell, and we'll all eat together, inspired by the breeze. We'll sing a song of gratitude